Hey, this is Lance McGowan
Malie Simpson.
and today we're going to talk about part 6 of the Young Living versus doTERRA lawsuit outcome. And if you haven't watched the previous versions, make sure to do that. There's 5 additional parts that kind of give you the doTERRA side of things with regards to the press release that they had. And then we're going to also now, from part 6 to part 8, kind of talk about the Young Living announcement, also known as the press release as well, that was released to kind of give the other side of the coin. And the purpose of this video series, because some people are asked, like, why do you do the videos, is because we want to give people the facts. And so we saw that there was a lack of information out there, there was inaccurate information out there, and people were misperceiving things based on those 2 items. And then at the same time, there is demand for this type of content because people locally at our classes, but also online, want to know what happened, because it does affect their decision of purchasing decisions, but also how they view the company. And it's so important to get all of the backstory and the history and all the facts. And so that's what we're trying to provide with each video. And obviously we're providing the facts with our commentary as well, because we have a perspective on it as well. But we're also trying to be just give it the way that it's there, right? And try to help you think about things a little bit more critically instead of just jumping to a conclusion and being like, like I'm with the company because that's what I'm going to do. And it's good to be loyal, but at the same time, it's good to get the facts.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So let's get started.
Let's do it. All right, so here is the first part of the trial that came about for the Young Living side. So they released on their website, and we'll include a link in the description so you can check it out. But this is all Young Living, basically speaking, with the quotations here. So it says, "We have never been afraid to stand up for ourselves and our members. Young Living will always protect our company and our reputation."
We have now had our day in court, and we deeply respect the judicial process.
"This verdict does not affect our business in any way and will not stop our momentum of getting essential oils into every home in the world. Young Living is ultimately about purpose and people, not about profit."
This case was about right and wrong and setting the record straight.
All right. Well, before we get into the top 6 factors to consider, we're just kind of maybe provide a little bit about what we thought about this. All right, so when we go back to that part, so let's look at that. So this case was about right and wrong and setting the record straight. And for me, like when you're in any situation, a book that I read by McGowan basically talked about the reasonable person and the unreasonable person. And it said the reasonable person focuses on truth and seeking understanding, and the unreasonable person focuses on being right and winning. And so for me, it's important to try to be reasonable with regards to how I manage conflict in that context, but then also how I perceive things as well. And so when I see something like this, it automatically kind of jumps out to me with regards to, hey, shouldn't the focus be on truth and understanding? And another word for truth would just be the facts. And, obviously, like I said before in the beginning of the video, facts can be, missing or inaccurate or misperceived. And so those factors need to be considered. But it's so important to focus on the truth and understanding, and I think doing that will set the record straight in a proper way.
Right. I mean, they did say they respect the court system, and that's a good thing because, we usually need a third party to, iron out all the problems, because a lot is he said, she said, or your feelings, your opinions.
Right. I mean, that's basically it. I mean, that's kind of like the beginning part of the Young Living announcement here, and we're going to cover the top 6 factors to consider, because this came up also when we read the transcripts that were available for both sides, which are actually available on the website for Provo, Utah, and so you can check that out. And we'll have some information and links in the description as well, so you can get the full transcript and get more of that story as well, at least kind of where to go to if you're interested in that. And then the top 6 factors to consider, because these came up in the Young Living versus doTERRA lawsuit, actually, in that court trial. Number 1 is corporately owned farm percent of total. For Young Living, we don't know what that is. In part 5, you saw that we sent an email to try to get some more information and some more transparency on that, and weren't able to get it. With doTERRA, we know that's at 0%.
Number two, corporate farm volume percent of total. So Young Living, again, they won't offer that. It's proprietary information, and doTERRA is 0% because they don't own any of their farms. They co-partner.
Yeah, and the reason why we focus on this, because we get some questions about, hey, why are you even, pointing this out? Young Living doesn't mention that they own 100% of their farms, and is because if this is a competitive advantage, and if this is something that was mentioned in the trial, as, hey, if you're saying, it's just so important to know what percent is coming from these corporately owned farms. And if all the farms are held to the seed to seal standard, then there doesn't really need to be a distinction amongst corporately owned and partner farms because
It'd be the same process.
yeah, it's the same process. It's like saying, hey, I have 10 kids and I have one that me and my spouse made, and we got 9 of them that are adopted, and it's just like, well, aren't they all your kids? Yeah, they're held to all the same parental standards, but then why are you drawing a distinction? Well, because we can. I don't know, right? So
Yeah, what reasoning are you, have we heard over and over, Young Living owns their own farm, so doTERRA doesn't? Why have we heard that over and over? Is why we wanted to know and why we did this video.
Yeah, and that was primarily from Young Living folks, either customers or distributors. But at the same time, when you go to the website, it's not clear what percent. And then when you look at the partnership farm volume percent of total, it's a question mark for Young Living, and it's 100% for doTERRA. And so it's kind of, you can use process of elimination. If you know the corporately owned part, then you can figure out the partnership part.
Right. Essential oil exclusivity percent of total. So Young Living won't disclose that as well, or they don't offer that on their website. doTERRA does have 84% exclusive contracts with growers around the world that they only sell their essential oils to doTERRA.
And transparency in that area is very important because you want to know that the oils that you are getting in that bottle are exclusive. And it's nice to know what percent are not, because some growers may offer it to multiple companies because they may not get enough demand for a certain type of item, or they may feel that they can get, there's just more demand to satisfy and they got the supply, right? And so it just kind of depends. But being able to know that just 16% of doTERRA in their oils go to other companies, and 84% stays with doTERRA and the customers and wellness advocates is a great, reassurance and insurance that you're getting the world's highest quality.
Yeah, very cool.
And then this is really important as well, being able to verify bottle batch number for quality. And so it's one thing to say, hey, we test our oils, we've been to the farms, there's all these tests that they do. But being able to say, well, what are the test results and how do I verify that and kind of see that so I can compare apples to apples or apples to oranges or apples to rocks or whatever it is, right? And so Young Living, there's no way to verify the bottle batch number on the bottom for quality and for you at the time of this video. And with doTERRA, it's yes, you can go to source2u.com and then you can go to GCMS testing. There's a little kind of drop down menu, and then you can verify your bottle batch number and not just get what that oil is, but get what that actual batch is and get the results from a chemical constituent standpoint, which is really important in just verifying that the quality that you're getting is there. Now it's, probably more for like chemists or chemistry majors or people who just like to see charts like that, but at least you have that at your fingertips.
Yeah, and if we're wrong, and Young Living does have the ability to verify each bottle, each batch like that, and there's a link, then please put it in the comments below.
Or if they don't have it now and they do it in the future, then we'll do an update video. And so that's just, another way to do it.
And fair trade wages for all stakeholders. So Young Living is a question mark because they haven't made an announcement or press release on if they have fair trade wages, and I know this was a big issue in the trial as well, and why these 4 individuals that were sued did leave Young Living because
fly in there.
We need some oils, I think.
I know, right?
Why they left, one reason, especially the women, why they left Young Living, or why they said they left, was because they were not getting paid the same wages as the men in their same position were getting paid. So with doTERRA, they do offer fair trade wages for their employees and also for their partner farms.
That's right. And that's really important. I mean, you want to know that you're getting equal pay for equal work, regardless if you're a man, woman, senior, regardless of age or nationality or anything like that. And so it's just kind of another way to get that insurance. And, one of the main responses that people can get from these videos is like, I know one woman was like, I can't watch this anymore. I just can't see, my company being talked about like this. And it's just like, well, I mean, we're just giving the facts and we're just providing some commentary along the way. And it's kind of like learning that, your parents, were used to be mobsters or something, or something.
Hey, I know somebody like that. It's a pretty serious situation.
Yeah, right. We live in Las Vegas, so there's lots of mob boss wives or something. But it's just like, well, you kind of live in a double life there a little bit, and you're like, well, that's my parent, and I don't want to like do anything to show disloyalty, but at the same time, a lot of stuff came up, so I'm kind of like, So you have a couple choices. You can kind of skirt the not so good stuff under the rug, and just highlight all the good stuff and just, leave comments where it's like, I can't just watch it. And, I just want to, it's just too much, or you think it's false because you don't believe in it or don't like it. And so just because you don't like something or don't believe in something doesn't mean it's not true. Like if I were to say semi-trucks, I don't like them and I don't believe in them. But if I go onto the 215 freeway here and, walk out in front of, traffic and get hit by a semi-truck, just because I didn't like them, because they're gas hogs or diesel hogs, and just because I didn't believe in them as a form of transportation doesn't mean that I wouldn't be affected by their impact. And so it's the same thing about the truth and the facts that we reveal. Just because you don't like it, just because you don't believe in it, doesn't mean it's not true.
Right.
And it's so important for you to get educated on this information, which is why we give it.
All right. Not everybody's ready for the whole facts, the whole truth. So. Everyone's on their own journey, and you can decide for yourself for sure. But we're just offering what we know based on the facts, and of course, some of our opinion, of course, is always added in there. But we are sticking to the facts as far as not making any, statements that are not true per each company.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a saying, the truth hurts, but that's not our intent. Our intent is to help. But at the same time, the truth can be, a hard pill to swallow, so to speak, or a big pill, So it's not something, if you're not ready for it, it can be a little overwhelming or, upsetting. And so that's, again, not our intent to create, but it is to just help and educate and go from there. But yeah, that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click the subscribe button so you can catch more video updates like this and watch the rest of the series on this. And you can also check out some of the links in the description box below so you can check out kind of what we're talking about in a little more detail and get that information you're looking for.